Y'all probably say, where exactly are you going with this? I see you really trying to take it there. Old school flows chew you out, ain't fair. Jordan pants don't...
Yo, what up, YouTube? It's your boy, K2Zod, back at you. Y'all saw this. Anyway, I just wanted to break down a few things. I know I'll be taking a couple of days off in order to get things done. But at the end of the day, I've really been focused on, you know, like my family, my son and them, and just really trying to, you know, direct them in the right way. A lot of you people know, for the people that have been following my channel, is that me and my son had a channel called BaalSavvy and K2Zod. But we had to basically start a new channel for the people that follow us. It will be K2Zod and BaalSavvy. I guess it had to, you know, we ended up getting, I think, 3 strikes on our channel because we failed to, I mean, outside of mentioning the video, we didn't give them their credit or proper due, whatever. But we since then corrected that. So now it's K2Zod and BaalSavvy. So I'm going to go ahead and drop the link to that. Bay Recon, sorry, we did the live reaction to your video, just they happened to shut that channel down. So all the people that really support, and especially the one that's really into music, just go ahead and support the channel, you know what I mean? I know some of you may not be into it, but you know, if you could just support, it's all good, you know what I mean? And even if you don't, you know, just stop by once in a while, just say what's up, you know what I mean? And me and my son really trying to do it, and I'm really trying to push a lane for him so he can get out there and do his own thing. And you know, that's basically what it's about. But what I want to talk about today outside of that is the whole thing with OG. See, a lot of people get a misconception of exactly what an OG is. Something that is the OG should be, you know, I guess sitting on the couch, slamming dope, drinking, you know, Beastal, and just basically dressing a certain way and talking a certain way in order to garnish their homeboys' attention. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna break down exactly what I think an OG is about, and not these watered down tecatos that some of them already got bad names on them anyway. It's just you don't pay attention. But I'm gonna break down what I think an OG is about. And I seen one today when I was you know, doing my thing, looking at dogs, you know what I mean, in the shelter, and I seen a homie right there, you know, tatted the hell up. When I first seen him, I thought there was an issue because usually that's what happens, fools flex on me. But nah, this one ended up knowing me off of YouTube. He told me that he recognized me. Bam, we had a feedback conversation, and I seen the type of author he was just by talking to him, and the fact that he was really about his family, and he was there with his family, his kids, his, you know, his hyena and everything. And that's what I'm talking about. When you get a certain age, it's no longer about, you know, trying to pump certain things up. I do it sometimes, and it's not really pumping it up, just basically telling you exactly how Zod is and what Zod thinks about it, how Zod basically thinks, you know what I'm saying? So, but never once, you know, am I on here really trying to disrespect people. I kind of like water things down, not even water things down, but I try to say it in a way to where it doesn't really offend nobody, not because I'm necessarily worried about if they get offended, but just out of respect for the next man. And the fact that now it's different. If I was really out there like pushing that line and just trying to be like, you know, oh, super cholo all over again, then I can see, then there would be no need to water anything down. But as long as I'm trying to push a different lane, trying to give my kids an example of exactly how somebody that been through the mud, came up from the mud, and pushing on a positive track should be, you know what I mean? If I went back into it and want to get down with every food that I run into because I'm feeling some type of way about it, then it wouldn't be a proper example to my kids. And then, you know, what type of OG would I be out there trying to fight everybody and their mom? But at the end of the day, look, I'm just going to break it down. Like, the reason I see an OG a certain way and why I see OGs a certain way. A lot of people see OGs as staccatos and drunks, and that's why they're always on here side busting, talking about they don't respect older homies because these watchers ain't really giving them no reason to respect them. Now, there's some fools and watchers on here that really, you know, really been with the business. They're still in their hood, and they're doing what they have to do to survive, and I can understand why people see them a certain way. But like I said, it all comes down to how you conduct yourself. Now, for the ones that be out there still, you know, running wild, and they're already old already, some older than me, then, you know, it's understandable why some dudes will never respect that and some will. Me, I consider what I'm doing and what I'm trying to push in the lane down, trying to open Spencer, is something that an OG should do. I shouldn't have to go to my hood and try to pump my little homies up in order to go blow some fool's dome off, or, you know, try to go steal me this radio, or, you know, you need to get this so I can get high. That's not an OG. That's a fucking scallywag. And you'll run into a lot of them if you ever get incarcerated. They're scallywag leeches, and that's all they want is for you to pay for that next hit. You know what I mean? That's not an OG. An OG is somebody that gets out and handles his fucking business. When I got out, I was still on that page of like, fuck everybody, and I just wanted to do what I wanted to do, and that was plain and simple. Even if it meant separating myself from my family, and I paid for that. You know what I'm saying? As far as like me and my son, I mean, I don't really want to go too much into the story, but we have been estranged for years. Like, you know what I mean? He was doing his own thing. I didn't talk to him. He didn't talk to me. It's a deep story about that. The same with my daughter. We still don't talk, but you know what I mean? Little by little, I'm guessing we'll be able to bridge that gap. But for a long time, there's a lot of things I didn't do with my kids just for that simple fact that I got out on a straight military page and everything was structured. And I needed this, did like this, and this did like that. And any sense of disrespect was met with consequences. And I'm talking about pushing hard line. But as I start growing up a lot more, I start to realize that you can't conduct yourself like that, especially when you're dealing with your children. And and now I'm at that point in my life to it's like, you know what, I get it now. You know what I'm saying? And now it's like I'm doing everything I can to rectify certain situation, and that's what it comes down to. See, I never been the type to want my kids to do exactly what I did. I've always pushed for them to excel, you know, even from a distance, you know what I mean, to try to give them that. I always push for them to excel, and I think that's what an OG does. An OG gets out and he takes care of his business. He works, and you'll notice, you got a couple bad examples of homies that, you know, they're OGs and they're just washed up, you know what I mean, and I'm not talking about in prison. They're on the street, they don't want to do nothing. All they want to do is get their next fix, their next hit, their next drink, and they'll disown their whole family in order to get it. That's not what I consider an OG. He may have been through the mud, but at the end of the day, it's not what you did in the beginning, it's what you do in the end. I always say this: if you got the respect from your neighborhood from the beginning, you don't need to get in the end. If I still got to get out and still do certain things in order for my homies to respect me, then I never had the respect in the first place. I'm not looking for the younger homies from my block to be all on me. And at one time it would have been like that, but now I'm at the age to where I want my son on me. You know what I'm saying? I want my youngster that, you know what I mean, I got a smaller one. I want him to look up to me and respect me in a way to where it's like, man, that's my pops, and you know, and I'm doing something positive, and maybe excel at the fact and come up to a point to where we don't have to live in bad neighborhoods. You know what I mean? But that's what it comes down to. That's what an OG does. He looks out for his. He guides his homies in a way to where they're not really out there doing certain things. Now, if you're threatening fools pushing on you, then you got to do exactly what you need to do. And that's a part of being hood. But for me to send my homies on missions and stuff, that's OGs don't do that. Only leeches, scammers, and all these other trash ass fools that do that. Oh, you need to go do this, Holly. You need to go do this, Holly. Them ain't your OGs. Them are fools that just utilizing you to do something to keep them from having to do it themselves. And you see it all the time. You got cats, oh, you need to take this charge. These are trash bags. And OG doesn't do that. And OG puts his homies in a position to win. When I'm winning, my homies are going to win. And hopefully that'll keep them from having to go out there and blow some fool's head off, because that's how OG does it. You don't push for your homies to go out and do bad or do things that might end them in prison for the rest of their life, because that's not looking out. You got to be not necessarily a saint, but the voice of reason sometimes. Lead your homies in a way to where they can make money. Nowadays, all this other shit, it is what it is, but it's about money. And if you ain't got it, people look down on you. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I see an OG. Somebody taking care of his family, somebody leading his homies in the proper way to where they can excel and come up. Because the drug game is gone. You guys Vault's still doing their thing, but at the end of the day, they're constantly folding. The feds are on everybody, and you know, before you know it, you be another casualty of society. You know what I mean? And you got to do better things to come up. I got homies that going to college. That's what I'm talking about, to push. And this is not to bring up like mafia stuff, but even the Italian moms, they never wanted their kids to join their business. They always wanted them to be politicians and things of that nature, because it's something that could help them in the future, was conducive to a proper future, and not just being like them and eventually knowing that they're going to get busted. Because when you're in life, eventually you get cracked. Nobody lasts forever. Too many snitches, Too many freaking pesetas, too many people on the street false flagging that really pointing fingers out here. That's why I tend to just stay away from everything. But like I said, I'll reiterate that fact for the vatos that fail to understand. I forgot your name, Chris something, whatever. Like, that's dumb. If you don't want to watch my channel, sabes, just, you know, borrate, you know what I mean? Just kick rocks. Nobody cares whether you watch me or not. I know you be side busting in my comments. You got that other trash bag that be on here constantly saying some dick riding shit. Like, at the end of the day, you watch me. You, whether you troll me or not, you still watching me. So hey, gracias for that. But like I said, our OG takes care of his business, takes care of his family. And if you notice, most of the real OGs out here got jobs, good hollies, and they hooking their homeboys up. That's what you do. You look out for your homeboys. You look out for the camaradas. You look out for those who really out here trying to get it. For the ones that ain't trying to get it, you got to kind of let them bump their head until they come to a point where they willing to get it themselves. But that's basically how I see an OG. I know it may not be as constructive as some people might have wanted it, but that's how you break it down. An OG takes care of his family. An OG takes care of his homeboys, and OG leads his homeboys in the proper way, whether they gangbanging or not. Don't do it like this, because you're gonna get caught up. It's a proper way of doing things, but that's how you do it. That's my word to the vatos that OG shouldn't be on YouTube. What are we supposed to do? It's just you're so used to the vatos on the couch slamming and drinking, so that's how you picture an OG, or me being super cholo and big ass pants and still trying to do some shit. At the end of the day, that's not an OG. That's somebody that just ain't got his life together. And most OGs are out here taking care of their family, and you'll see it more and more. If you don't believe me, go to @ZodBaalSavvy on IG and look at all the homies. Jobs, nice trucks, nice houses. That's how you get it as an OG. So, you know, for the people that got a misconception of exactly what being an OG is, and not all OGs are gangbangers, just to clarify that fact for the less intelligent or whatever you want to call yourself. And on that note, my name is Zod. That is what I consider an OG. And even if you don't consider it, I'm still going to handle my business, create that lane for the camaradas. And for the haters, hey, gracias for the mic. And I'm out. Ladies.
Kneel before Zod!